Greetings. Oh yes, deep divers. Shout out to everybody who's here. We're just getting into it just like that, Ralph. Like you're just diving into the live stream just like that. Let me shout out to everyone who's in the chat. Everyone who's diving deep divers. We got a whole lot to talk about. And as you can see, there's no green screen. We are in a very fabulous art gallery, and we got a lot to talk about, okay? Because as you already know, the whole world is waking up. Millions of people are waking up. Big changes are here. Big changes are on the planet. And shout out to everyone who was at the freedom rallies all around the world, from London to New York to everywhere. But there's a lot of important information I want to share with you because the Great Awakening is here. One love to everybody out there. Right, deep divers? So people are probably asking, Ralph, where's the music? Right? You're probably asking, where is the music? There's no music, deep divers. I'm awfully sorry. Oh no, Ralph. There's no music whatsoever. I'm just kidding, deep divers. We got a lot of good music. We got some fantastic music. So let me play one of my favorites. Let's go. I'm so happy. The whole world is just beginning. We already won. It's about us all. So many beautiful deep divers here. It's a choice. So happy to manifest whatever you want, to be whatever you want. It's a choice. Freedom is. Oh yes, deep diver. Shout out to everybody who's here. Everybody who's here. A lot of people enjoying the new setup. Let me shout out to everybody. This is live streams, always interactive. Ladia Hill, shout out to you. You are appreciated. You know, I just do these live streams, deep divers, just to connect with you. And I want to hear from you. Like I told you, start with gratitude. The universe is blessing me every single day. Everything is aligning for me every single day because I'm grateful. And this is the reason why I'm blessed, right? So always remind yourself, start with gratitude, and anything you do, make sure you start with gratitude. So deep divers, the walking dead have arisen. Right now on the planet, as I said, there have been freedom rallies all over the world, from the UK to the US to all over the world. A lot of people are waking up, and this has not got anything to do with a lockdown. This hasn't got anything to do with a global pandemic. This has everything to do with the Great Conjunction. It's got everything to do with the Great Conjunction. We're going to get into that and why things are happening like they're happening and what's to come. Let me shout out to everyone who's here. The connected self, you are appreciated. Love, peace, and prosperity to all. Give thanks. Let me shout out to everyone who's here. And by the way, deep divers, make sure, if you haven't already, you smash that like button. Okay, I'm talking to you in real time, deep divers. Everybody, I'm watching you in live time. You can see the chat scrolling down the side of the screen. Make sure you smash the like button and share the link of this video. Once again, smash the like button, give thanks, give appreciation, and share the link of the video. Now, the Walking Dead are rising. You see, like I said, most people die at 18 and don't get buried until 75. What? Slow motion this side. Because so many people are the Walking Dead. So many people go through life as an automaton. I did. And it's not easy to have an awakening where you start to realize you're a spiritual being having a human experience. It's not easy because there is so many programs. But the good news is that people are starting to say, actually, I've been listening to Ralph Smart. What did Ralph Smart say? Oh, being free is your birthright. I keep telling you, nothing we do is in vain. I do want you to know that, deep divers. Nothing you do is in vain. And you don't want to give up hope on humanity. You don't want to give up hope on other people, because everybody, like I told you, life is about the metamorphosis, like Ovid said in the great works, metamorphosis. So we have to realize we're all going to start out as caterpillars. We're all going to start out as caterpillars. You see, life is about transformation. That's how we all start. That's how we all start. But I want to remind you, let me shout out to everyone who's here. Sonia, you are appreciated. Sonia, you are appreciated. We all start off as caterpillars, but I want to remind you, it is our destiny to become a butterfly. We must not forget that. It is our destiny. It's everyone's destiny to become a butterfly. You see, the only way the caterpillar can go through the metamorphosis to the butterfly, which is a symbol of the fifth dimension where love reigns supreme, the only way that can happen is if it ceases to be a caterpillar. It has to die to itself to be reborn. And this is what's happening on the planet. You see, everything that's happening on the planet right now is highly symbolic. People are now saying, I want my freedom back, right? I want my freedom back. It's because we took our freedom for granted. When you don't appreciate something as simple, deep divers, as just traveling. Okay, how many of you went on a trip? How many of you went on an aeroplane and said, oh, it's just an aeroplane? How many of you met up with friends and said, you know what? Who cares, Ralph? I'm just meeting up with friends. A lot of people, we took it for granted. right? We took it for granted. Just going to concerts, hanging out with friends, we took it all for granted. And I want to remind you that now this is the time where we don't take it for granted again. And this is what people are starting to wake up to. That right now, we can no longer take life for granted. Right now, we can no longer take our civil liberties for granted. Right now, we can no longer take life for granted. Right now, we can no longer take our children's mental health for granted, because there's an old saying, deep divers, it goes like this: if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't say thank you for it, if you don't say thank you, it disappears. So I want to remind you that this is a great gift we all have. It's a great gift. It's a wonderful gift. And every single day we have to say, actually, what is the most important thing in life? I'm asking you this, deep divers. You know, what is the most important thing for me? Ralph Smart, I can answer that. Santa, Barbara, you are appreciated. Thank you. You're far too kind. What's the most important thing for me? Is it to get more subscribers? Is it to be famous? Is it to have more money? Is it to have lots of Instagram followers? Or is it to be seen in films? And the most important thing to me is love, is freedom, and it's coexisting with my fellow brothers and sisters in peace and harmony. That's the most important thing. That's the only thing that matters. You see, a lot of us, we're now starting to realize that all the things we once used to take for granted, these are the things that matter the most. Being with your loved ones, having the freedom to do what you want when you want. We used to take that for granted, right? And now we're starting to realize that it's a gift just to be able to realize you can be with your loved ones, just to be able to realize you can travel, just to be able to realize you can go outside, just to be able to realize you can take off your face mask. That's like a gift. That's a big thing right now. If you can spend a few minutes without a face mask, that's like a big thing right now. So I want to remind you, once upon a time on the planet, things were even more free than before the pandemic. Once upon a time, in indigenous lands, you could literally sleep in someone's house and you wouldn't have to pay anything. They would feed you. They would take you in. Taylor, you are appreciated. They would help you. They would support you, because that's the organic way. That is the organic way. You see, we are the only species that has to pay to live and eat. Yeah, we're supposed to be the most intelligent. We're the only species that has to pay to live and eat. Yet we're supposed to be the most intelligent. Shirtless Vegan, you are appreciated. Always amazing to hear from you. As a spiritual advisor, you've helped me put my feelings into words. Peace. Wait a minute. Peace. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. We are out here, deep divers. So I want to remind you, if you're not careful, something that is so free as air can be taken away from you. And we can see what's happening on the planet. If you're not careful, something as simple as just being able to move around, That was just a given, right? That you can go outside and go wherever you want, hop on a plane, travel to any country. Now, these things are now seeming like a luxury, right? So I want to remind you, this is what happens when you don't honor certain things. Joel, you are appreciated. Thanks for everything you do, Ralph. Can't imagine the world without you. Make sure to show appreciation to our mentor here, guys. It's much needed. Also hit the like button, deep divers. You heard it from the one and only Joel. You are appreciated, Joel. Absolutely. You see, so we got to remind ourselves, the walking dead are rising because they're starting to realize that actually, if we don't do something now, it's over for us. It's over for our children. See, what's happening to the mental health of people? Already people have lost homes. Already people's businesses have collapsed. People have lost jobs. It's hard now. Mr. Leonard, you are appreciated. Sending peace. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So already people are starting to realize that we have to truly not take the simple things in life for granted. Because if we do, we're going to wake up one day and realize you can't even breathe air without permission. Put that mask back on. What are you doing? Deep divers, I'm just breathing in that good ass prana, baby. You see, every single day I'm truly grateful for the good ass prana, baby. I don't take it for granted, deep divers. I don't take it for granted. And this is why the universe allows me to breathe in that good ass prana. You see, what we've got to realize, the walking dead are rising. Why? Because people now are starting to realize we all are in this together. You see, I told you, the inorganic ones created divisions, illusions, separations, because they know that human beings like to be seen as better than other people. They like to be having more popularity than their peers, and this is perfect. So what we can do is we can say, because you're from this country, you're better than that person because they're in that country. So the inorganic ones work against you because they know your psychology, and your psychology is that as human beings, we still haven't learned unity. Divine dream, you are appreciated. Need advice on natural healing. We're going to get to that. So they work you against your differences, and the solution is to find what you have in common as opposed to what separates you. You see, everybody bleeds red. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Like Steve Jobs said, I don't want to be the richest man in the grave. So we've got to start saying, actually, the fundamental things of life that matter are freedom, are love, are living in harmony with one another. Now people all around the world are starting to realize this. They're starting to say, wait a minute, I don't like what the world is turning into. Wait a minute. And now people are starting to wake up. Alexander, you are appreciated. Abundant angel blessings, Ralph. Keep on shining your inner light forth. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate you, Alexandria. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody here. So we got to remind ourselves that it is the final end game. And there's a reason why it's the final end game, because right now, a lot of things are happening simultaneously. One of one of the things that's happening right now is that we're moving into a new age. So, Travis, you are appreciated. Thank you. We're moving into a new age. There's a reason why Elon Musk is sending rockets to Mars. There's a reason why Elon Musk said you're already a cyborg. There's a reason why he talks about the Neuralink. There's a reason why Ray Kurzweil, the director of engineering at Google, talks of the singularity by 2045. In other words, artificial intelligence will supersede human intellect. This all ties into what's happening right now on the planet. Have you noticed how many times you've used QR codes, deep divers? Right? On your phone, you got a QR code. Now, what do they use right now in Israel? They use the green pass, which is the QR code. In other words, this is symbolic of where humanity is moving to. What? Slow motion this side. Now, we're starting to see this because what you're seeing happening right now, and this is why it's time to wake up fast, because you're starting to see that human beings are being relegated and machines are given more prestige than human beings, because artificial intelligence can replace what you can do. They don't need you to do their jobs. They can get machines to do it. So what we're seeing is that everything now is a race against time for humans to say, actually, what power do I have over artificial intelligence? My humanity. You see, one thing computers can't do is feel. Computers can't feel. Computers can't feel. They don't have any empathy, but they can do great mathematical calculations. And the AI works on algorithms. So the only way human beings can free themselves from what's happening is to learn to be more human than artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence will beat you every single time. So we're now starting to see that human beings are starting to wake up. Once again, all around the world, the Freedom March rallies from the UK to London. A protest doesn't necessarily mean you're woke, not at all. But that's why I said the walking dead are rising. We've all been programmed in this matrix. It started from a young age when you're in school. The teacher tells you a few stories and you believe them. But they get you in those first 18 years. Now, this is interesting because in those first 18 years, your mind is growing, your brain is growing, but also this is the time your subconscious mind is being programmed. And after that point, it gets very difficult to reprogram it. So the reason why this is important is because, for the simple fact that after a certain point, it gets too late. After a certain point, you reach a point of no return. Many people who believe in a certain religion, you can't tell them anything else. That's their belief. Because after a certain age and level of programming, it's hard to be free again. We have to realize what's happening all around the world with the freedom, the stand for freedom, people standing up for their freedoms, is a sign from their reptilian brainstem, the primal brain, the first brain, the reptilian brainstem right here, that we need to survive, because if not, there's going to be no human beings left on the planet. You see, there's a film called Elysium starring Matt Damon. I I recommend that you watch it. Now, in that film, Elysium, the elites know that there's too many people on the planet. In fact, it's a bit of a nuisance. And they plan to get off the planet. And they plan to enslave everybody and leave them on the planet. So right now you have billionaires trying to get to Kepler 452b. That's an Earth-like planet. That's Earth 2.0. Also, they're trying to search for other habitable planets to get their ass there, and they can go there. They've been doing interstellar travel for a long time. Many secret space missions humanity doesn't know about. Because a lot of people are only seeing what they see on the TV. Only seeing what they see in the media. Only see what they hear when these celebrities are singing these songs. But now there is a turning of the tide, and that's the good news. We can celebrate, because the turning of the tide is that people are now starting to realize something feels wrong. And this is why a great change is coming. Anytime you have a catastrophic breakdown, it only leads to one thing. What is that, deep divers? What is that? Let me shout out to everyone here, deep divers. Like I told you, I'm reading every single comment, reading all of your comments. Let me shout out to everybody who's here. Make sure you smash the like button, deep divers. And Joel Francis, shout out to you. Shout out to Joel Francis. I appreciate human emotion. That's fantastic. I appreciate human emotion and connectivity now more than ever before. Sometimes you have to lose something in order to understand its true value. Got Ralph Smart doing the dirty face. Slow motion this side. Absolutely. Thank you, Joel, for that. Sometimes you have to lose something to understand its true value. What did people lose all around the world? They lost their ability to travel. They lost their freedoms. They lost their normal way of life. Now, that's why I told you, this is all a lesson. And we can always extract something good even from a bad experience. I always say, no experience. Shout out to you, nothing in particular. No experience is wasted if you can learn from it. No experience is wasted if you... Shout out to everybody who's here. This experience has taught people so much. Don't worry, I'm back. Deep divers, we never left. It's what happens when the frequency is so high. This experience has taught people so much. It's taught people that if you don't value what you have, you will lose it. It's taught people as well that you can't place all of your eggs in one basket. A lot of people spend all of their life savings and invested it into the machine. They spent all of their life savings. They placed all of their eggs in one basket. They believed that the world would take care of them. But it's this same world that enslaved them. So I want to remind you that deep divers, all of those people, right? All of those people who were telling you, get right with nature. All of those people who were telling you, plant your feet. All of those people who were telling you, stay free. You see, many times we look at these people as crazy. Many times we look at these people as insane. But it's funny how everything they said is happening right now. Right? Those so-called conspiracy theorists aren't looking so crazy right now. Right? They ain't looking so crazy, right? Let me shout out to everyone who's here. Everybody who's here, deep divers, you are appreciated. Mr. Leonard C. I appreciate everybody here. So I want to remind you that when you realize one love to everybody here, I'm going to get to everybody. All the sci-fi is really happening right now. The science fiction is actually the science now. Everything they were showing you in those films is called predictive programming. You know how many films there were about pandemics, deep divers? There were a lot of films. There was even a Korean film about a pandemic before this happened. You should watch the... Yes, so as I was saying, all of those things they were telling you about, they were talking to you about in those films, they were just getting you ready for what was going to happen. It's called predictive programming. So I want to remind you that the truth is a lot stranger than the fiction. The truth is a lot stranger than the fiction. The Walking Dead are rising fast. Because right now, humanity has reached an interesting point. The way we are living is no longer sustainable. The way we are living is no longer sustainable. So you hear what they're talking about, World Economic Forum, Davos, they're talking about the Great Reset. Now, there's a reason why they're talking about the Great Reset, because it's over. The world as we know it is over. And this is why they're talking about a Great Reset, where by 2030, you will owe nothing and you will be happy. Because the world they envision for you is a world where you will be artificial intelligence. You won't even know what it means to be human anymore. How much time do you spend on your phone, deep divers? Every single day. Average person spends 5 hours every single day on their phone. I, on purpose, don't look at my phone as soon as I wake up, because I know if I do, I'm already on my way to being a cyborg. Shout out to everyone here. Deep divers, we're just warming up. Don't worry. Let me send a huge shout out to everyone who's here. Everybody who's here, make sure you smash the like button. Once again, if you're on this live, smash the like button and share this link. The Walking Dead are rising. Millions of people are waking up all around the world. Like I said, protests all the way in the UK, in New York, in Hawaii, everywhere. the Netherlands, okay? But I always want to tell you this, deep divers. Much love to everybody who's here giving thanks. You are appreciated. Let me interact with some people right now, deep divers in live time. Leah, Kim, Ra, House of Intuition, you are appreciated, honey. I appreciate you. Ralph Smart, you bring bliss to infinite waters. Breathing, getting that good ass prana, baby. And the lighthouse to all that looks your way. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You are all appreciated. You are all appreciated. I appreciate that. So if we realize that right now a lot is happening, there are levels to awakening. And I've spoken about the 4 levels of consciousness, and I'm going to tie this into what's happening. So the first level is the drone archetype. The drone is an individual who doesn't know themselves. They go through life aimlessly, idly, and they just consume, and believe whatever they're told. They don't think for themselves. We are all programmed in a drone state. We have to wake up from the drone state and move to the second level of consciousness, which is the artist. Now, there are a lot of artists out there. Not just singers. No, I'm talking about creators. That's the second level of consciousness, being a creator. When you rise to a creator, when you realize I'm a co-creator, I can choose how I want to feel, you now become empowered. When you rise to a creator and say, actually, right now, I can create the reality I want. I don't believe in lockdown. Uh-oh. Now you're shifting gears. Now you're becoming an architect of your own reality. The artist is an individual who is starting to wake up. And even when we talk of artists, many times you hear their songs and there's a lot of passion in their music. They've been through something. They've been through an awakening of some kind. And that's why if you listen to your favorite artist, they can write a song that can move you because they've gone through something that's changed them forever. But the artist isn't all the way awake because they're still dealing with the past. And that's why many artists right now on the planet, are caught up to say, actually, I can see what's happening on the planet, but I don't want to talk about it. Because the artist still has a lot to lose. And the artist is still working with their shadow side. And the artist hasn't learned how to become an alchemist. Because that's the third level of consciousness, right? The alchemist is an individual who knows how to turn a lockdown into an open door. Slow motion this side. The alchemist is an individual who knows how to turn a bad experience into a learning curve. The alchemist is the one who transforms lemons into lemonade. And then you have the wizard. And the wizard is a culmination of all three. The wizard is an individual, or the oracle is a seer, clairvoyant. They can see things before they happen. They know exactly what's happening on the planet and they can see what's going to happen. Why? Because they're tapped in. Many people call them the chosen ones, right? You've heard that expression, you are the chosen one, my son, my daughter. They are the seers. And that's why in ancient Greece you had the oracles. Generals would consult the oracles and say, hey, are we going to win it in the war? And the oracles would say, no, you're going to lose. No. They were able to see things before they happened because they could project themselves into time and space. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because there are levels of awakening. We've seen the Freedom March rallies. People don't want to be in lockdown. People are saying, hey, enough is enough. Let's save the children. That's fantastic. That's amazing. But there's also more that has to be done. You see, revolution won't be televised. Revolution will be internalized, right? Revolution can never happen out there. Revolution can only take place within yourself. And this is why lockdown could end today. If people started to liberate themselves mentally, physically, and emotionally from the chains that have been cast over them in the matrix. Oh, we're diving deep, deep divers. Oh, we're diving deep. Let me shout out to everyone who's here. So many beautiful deep divers here. So I want to remind you that there is a real revolution that has to take place, and it's got nothing to do with COVID-19. Believe it or not, this is not the issue here. The great Krishnamurti, who was one of my early mentors, said this: it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. All of these things we see around us are nothing more than symptoms. The true issue is the psyche of the human being, which has to be radically transformed. Has to be radically transformed. A lot of people now are slowly starting to say, wait a minute, something is not right. Something is not right because life is boring at home. Life is boring staring out of a window. Okay? Isolation kills. Mental health matters. Isolation kills. Mental health matters. End lockdown. Mental health matters. And we've got to remind ourselves we have to learn how to protect our mental health. The reason why there's been such a shift all of a sudden, because you're starting to see more protests worldwide. You're starting to see a greater awakening worldwide. It's because people are now starting to realize this is not going to end. It's not meant to end, deep divers. I told you, this is moving you into a new age. This is moving you into, you think this is just leading to the artificial intelligence. And it's not going to end. Unless you are saying, actually, we are going to create the new earth. Many people on the planet are distracted. Many people think that by not focusing on something that is unpleasant, when they wake up, it won't be there. No, when you wake up, it's going to be worse. This is what's happened. when you turn a blind eye to what's happening, and then you somehow look at it, it's going to be totally different. You're going to be in for a rude awakening. And that's why you can't sleep your way out of this one. Not this one, deep divers. You can't pretend this is not happening and watch TMZ all day and entertain yourself with soaps and reality TV shows keeping up with the Kardashians. You can't do that. Because this one is staring at you right in the eye. This one is staring at you right in the eye. You can't hide from this one, deep divers. You can't hide from this one. This one is staring at you right in the face every single day. As soon as you wake up, you're going to see it, right? Every day you wake up, you're seeing people who are wearing face masks. You're seeing people who are in lockdown. So now it's in your face. You see, I told you, when you don't pay attention to what's happening, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to have to face reality. You can't sleep your way out of this one. You can't say, hey, this is not happening. No, it is happening, deep divers. You better wake up quick. Because many people don't realize that this was planned a long time ago by the inorganic ones. Spiritual warfare is not something new. Spiritual warfare is not something that started in 2020. It's been happening. It's been happening, and it's going to continue to happen. I told you, the inorganic ones control everything in the matrix. They designed this program for you. They designed everything for you in this matrix. All of your pleasures come from the inorganic ones. All of your sports and entertainment come from the inorganic ones. Your favorite reality TV shows, they were given to you by the inorganic ones. Your celebrities who dumb you down were given to you by the inorganic ones. And this is why over the centuries they've grown to have so much power. Because they know that people are comfortable. Let me shout out to everyone who's here. Once again, deep divers, if you are on this live, smash the like button and share this link. Once again, smash the like button, share this link. Let me talk to some people. Let me shout out to Lynn. You are appreciated, Lynn. Lynn Winter, shout out to you. Thank you so much. Thankful, grateful, and well blessed. I use my phone only to make phone calls. I am here to drop a love bomb. Can we do that? We got a love bomb for you, Lynn. Okay. One love to you, Lynn. Tube Trance, you are appreciated. Thank you for your guidance and encouragement throughout this very bizarre time. Keep speaking truth in love. Hey, it is bizarre. It is bizarre. But this is how they want it to be. So I want to remind you, deep divers, you remember when you were young and you play very kind of like silly games and stuff? Do you remember those games you used to play when you were young? Like, tell me about some of the games you used to play. Like, you just play like silly games, right? And you're like, gosh, why are we playing this? But as a child, it's fun. You don't care. It's just a game, right? Well, the same thing is happening right now. What you're seeing is that it's all a game. In fact, you know, people say, who are the biggest trolls? I told them. The inorganic ones are the biggest trolls. Right? The inorganic ones are the biggest trolls. Inorganic ones are trolling you so hard it's not even funny. Trolling you so hard it's not even funny. Okay? So I want to remind you, you have to realize, you've seen Rick Rolled, right? You click on that video and it says you've been Rick Rolled, right? That's what the inorganic ones are doing to humanity on a daily basis. You're being Rick Rolled. We are the only species that has to pay to live and eat, yet we're supposed to be the most intelligent. So let me tell you this, like, it's gotten to the point right now, deep divers, they can literally charge you for air and people will pay for it. Do you believe me? It's already happening. There are certain breathing spaces in Switzerland where you have to pay to go to. The air is so pure. I mean, already you're paying for water. It's not so far-fetched, deep divers. They say, hey, you got to pay for air. Oh my gosh. So I want to remind you, as we go back, like I started, when you don't appreciate the simple things in life, like air, water, freedom, these things now become the most sought after commodities. They become the most prized possessions, the simple things. We're not supposed to be saying, hey, we want our freedom. That should be your birthright, for goodness sakes, right? So I just want to remind you that we got to remind ourselves, if we go back to, even there's a film called In Time, right? And I like that film because it shows a great message. In time, the wealthiest people have the most time. Okay? And they don't have money. They have time. Time is the money. And the more time you have, the more money you have. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now. See, a lot of people don't have time for anything. They don't have time for themselves even to brush their teeth. Goodness gracious. Deep divers, did you have any foods to eat today? 7-day vegan challenge. Do you have time for some aubergines? This guy has some time. That's great. Look, we've got to remind ourselves that it's a race against time right now. You see, a lot of people, time is currency. Absolutely. It's currency. It's always currency. If you realize that Osho is a spiritual master. They once asked Osho, they said, Osho, why are you the rich man's guru, the rich woman's guru? He said, all of these wealthy people, these multimillionaires, he said, they have all the money in the world. Then they have time to think about life. And then they ask me about how to deal with it. He said, most people, the struggling man, the struggling woman, is too busy caught up in the rat race to even ponder these questions. Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. Let me repeat that. The unexamined life is not worth living. So if we reverse that, that means the examined life is worth living. And that's why it's so essential to make sure every single day you're checking in. Every single day you're spending a few minutes with yourself to say, hey, let me meditate, let me balance my chakras out. That helps a lot. Because when you do this, you will have clarity. And you will see that it's not about changing the world. It's about realizing you are the world. And when enough people realize this, there will be no one in lockdown. In fact, there will be no government. In fact, there will be a whole new earth. It comes with an inner realization. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You see, protests are cool. This is the outer expression. But the inner expression is far more empowering. This is when you say, actually, I'm going to detach from the matrix. And this is how the great transformation happens. See, a lot of people, you can protest against the system, but you still want to go back and work in the system. You still want to be involved in the system. So you're actually feeding the same beast. So how can you expect the problem to change? The system is not the problem. You are the problem. You have created all of this. You are responsible for all of this. There is no system without human beings. Listen to what I'm telling you. There is no system without human beings. Our collective ignorance, our moving away from our shadow, has created everything you see happening right now. I told you. Humanity has been the walking dead. Humanity has been sheep. For a long time, we were just following and moving along. The only thing a sheep can look at is another sheep's backside. There's a reason why you don't have a pet wolf. Do you know why you don't have a pet wolf, deep divers? You know why you don't have a pet wolf? Because wolves are very disobedient. Right? A wolf is very different from a dog. A dog, the dog down the road and the cat down the road, you know, they're kind of friendly. A wolf, on the other hand, is wild, is free. It's not easily domesticated. Now, because of this, wolves have their freedom. And this is why a wolf in the Native American zodiac, you know, wolves are always seen alone, right? You've heard the expression, the wolf of the pack, right? The wolf is always alone, howling. Oh, oh, oh. How does that sound, deep divers, right? Howling like a wolf. But the wolf is smart enough to know that it's freedom over everything. And this is what makes the wolf so powerful. The sheep, on the other hand, are wonderful animals. But little do they know they're innocent, you see. Little do they know they're only heading in one direction. That's a slaughterhouse. Uh-oh. So you got a choice between being a lone wolf or being led to the slaughterhouse. Sometimes when we're around a lot of people, we feel good. But do we ever ask ourselves where these people are taking us? Where we're going, right? Where we're going? The awakening is happening because people are now going within themselves. I mean, after all, a lot of people's outside reality has become unpleasant. And that's why I told you, even in something that seems bad, you can always find the lesson within it to say, actually, this is a perfect time to go within. And this is the only salvation. This is the only hope. You see, let me shout out to everyone who's here. Everybody who's diving deep. Gucci Gang in the house. I love that movie In Time, Ralph Smart. I love your videos. You help me out a lot. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. So many wonderful deep divers here. So I want to remind you, deep divers. Jen, you are appreciated. Let me just read these comments. Jen. One love to you, Jen. William McDonald, thank you so much. Every day is a good day. It's up to us to make it better. Stay blessed, deep divers. Absolutely. Every day is a good day. It's up to us to make it better. You are appreciated. And Jackie, shout out to you. You are appreciated. So if we remind ourselves every single day that it is up to us how things turn out. I keep telling you about the levels of awakening for a reason. Because if you're protesting to say, hey, I don't want to be in lockdown, that's great. But if you are locked down mentally, it won't make a difference. See, change has to start from inside first, and then the outside will change after. You can't change outside and then change the inside. It has to start from within first. And this is the next level of awareness to say, wait a minute. We can change ourselves. We can not participate. We can detach. We can form our own schools. That's real change. So I want to remind you that it's good to see people out there saying we want to be free. But also you have to remind yourself there's a lot of inner work that has to be done. The human being is on the run from itself. Pardon? I said the human being is on the run from itself. And we are on the run from ourselves because of something called the existential vacuum, which the philosopher Kierkegaard talked about. Now, the existential vacuum is the existential crisis. What is the existential crisis all human beings face? I'll let you explain it to me. What is the existential crisis every human being on the planet faces? And this is what we all have in common. The existential crisis people have is that everything is temporary. Oh my gosh! People are getting old. People are dying. This universe and this world we live in is not permanent. The ancients knew that we are just here for a short time. traveling through the Merkaba, which is the spirit body, but we will go on to other galaxies and dimensions. And that's why they realize no one ever really dies. And that's what nerd means. No one ever really dies. So this is a very hard pill to swallow if you are invested into the illusion of permanency. My house, my job, all of that is going to go. And that's why the ancient yogis, the sages, as they grew older, they had less stuff. What did George Carlin say? He said, people have a lot of stuff, right? The great sages knew that they would have to leave all of these material possessions behind. And that's why they learned how to let go of the material possessions, the attachment. Not so just to let go, but more so the attachment. And this matrix has turned people into fiends. We're addicted to our mobile phones. We sleep with them. But all of that has to go. And that's why I tell you, you have to learn how to detach from the systems of the matrix. And then you can free yourself. Every single day, deep divers, I want you to remind yourself that it's a choice. You see, the inorganic ones bank on one thing, and that is to have you scared shitless. There's something that fear does to the neurochemistry of the body. What fear does is weakens you. The immune system weakens you mentally. But when you are fearless, what happens? You're unstoppable. What happens? Your health is improved. What happens? You're realizing it's all within you. You see, how can I put this to you? If you realize that I'm only a guide and all the answers lie within yourself, but most people expect someone else to sort out things for them. You expect people you don't know to make this planet beautiful again. You expect people that don't even meditate to bring peace on the planet. You expect people who don't even burn sage to make the world right again. It's not going to happen. So your leaders, ask them, when was the last time you meditated? When was the last time you got right with yourself? When was the last time you did the shadow work? Never. So what I'm telling you is that the people that are leading you are not in tune with themselves. And this is why you can be led to a slaughterhouse. So the best thing we can all do for ourselves is to make sure we are around people who are really in tune with themselves. Until we become in tune with ourselves. There are many people all around the world, Reiki teachers, people who are in tune with themselves, people who know the psychology of the body, the spirituality of the body. And these are the real doctors and scientists we should be learning from. Because these are the people who are living it every single day. Great minds like Alan Watts, like Krishnamurti, like all of these great minds. I want to remind you, deep divers, that right now you have to realize one thing. This is not going to end. Pardon? What? It's not going to end until you say enough is enough. Until you say, actually, I'm going to let that balloon go. You got to let it go. I told you, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. Deep divers, you got to let it go. And then it ends. But as long as you're holding on, it's never going to end. You see, most people live their lives under a deep trance, a spell of some sorts. And these people are innocent because they're only doing what they're told to do. But there comes a point in time where you turn into a lion, deep divers. There's a reason why you don't have a lion as a pet. There's a reason why you don't have a lion as a pet, right? We have to remind ourselves that, listen to what I'm telling you. So you will have a lion, and we say the lion is in the wild, right? But you will have a domesticated bird, and we'll say the bird is in the cage. So this bird right here has been domesticated. It's in lockdown right now. Now this bird is safe and secure. Now, the reason why the bird likes being in this cage is because it's safe. It gets fed when it wants. It doesn't even have to go outside, deep divers. It's got everything right there. But one day the bird wakes up and says, wait a minute, I think it's a trap. I can't leave right now. I'm in lockdown. See, you've become so comfortable in the prison. You've forgotten that you're in a prison. Just like that bird, you think you're free until you realize you ain't going anywhere. All you can see is the cage. You see, once upon a time, that bird was actually free. It was in the wild. It was flying with other birds. It was happy. It was singing. But you see, in the wild, deep divers, you're so free that it's scary. But it's an adventure. And you find your freedom there. And right now, I want to remind you every single day to say, actually, I don't want to be that bird. I don't want to be that bird trapped in the cage. I don't want to be that bird who's always scared. I want to be the bird who is free every single day. And this is how we free ourselves. So always remind yourself that you have the choice to choose who you want to be. You can choose to live in your prison and get fed, even have a few a 30-minute exercise time, you can choose that. Or you can choose to say, wait a minute, it's time to get out of here. It's time to get out of here. We got places to explore. And this is the transformation that's happening right now. Let me shout out to everyone who's here. So many beautiful deep divers. Once again, make sure you smash the like button, deep divers. Smash the like button and share this link. The Walking Dead are rising. Truth Seeker 39, you are appreciated. Thanks, Ralph, for everything you do. I started my channel because of you. Happy to see the global uprising with protests. Freedom will prevail in the end, and we will not be silenced. Nothing screams louder than truth and love. What? Slow motion this side. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me give you some love right here, okay? Just relax with this, deep divers. Oh, yes. Glad you like that, deep divers. So I want to remind you, people are waking up. Freedom, the screams are getting louder. And I just had to play that for Truth Seeker, just to give thanks. We got to remind ourselves of that. Reading your comments in live time, deep divers. Joel Francis, shout out to you. You are appreciated. This music reminds me why I'm alive. Hope to make it through this and feel the way it makes me feel every day. That's what's up. That is what's up, deep divers. Right now, deep divers, with this global awakening that's happening, like I said, right now, we have to put our money where our mouth is. That's the greatest thing we can do right now, is to put our money where our mouth is. This is not the time to say, hey, I don't like the system, but you're still funding the system by the way you live every single day. This is the time to say, actually, right now, I'm going to be the change in the system. Right now, I'm going to be somebody who is a change. I'm going to make a change. And this is how things shift. So every single day, remind yourself that if you want change to happen, if you want change to occur, you can be part of the problem, or you can be part of the solution. You have to make sure you're in the process of changing a lifestyle that you have. When you learn to change a lifestyle you have, great things happen. Let me tell you this, deep divers. One love to everybody in the chat. Chat is going so fast, deep divers. I can't even keep up. We are the system. Forever grateful, Ralph. Absolutely. We are the system. I want you to realize that in your own personal life, every single day when you wake up and you look outside or look into nature, wherever you're looking at, you have to say, the life I'm living right now, is it part of the problem or is it part of the solution? So we are all directly or indirectly contributing to what's happening. We're either helping it or preventing it. Caroline Beauty, you are appreciated. Thank you, Ralph. We are the change. We are the change we want to see. Freedom is our birthright. We are free. We are free. We are free. Hey, I like that a lot. Caroline, I like that a lot. We are free. We are free. We are free. Absolutely. We are free. And we have to remind ourselves of this every single day, that we can be as free as we want. Every single day, remind yourself of that. You can be as free as you want. We are free. We are free. We are free. And once you say that, you got to say, okay, now I got to prove it. Now I got to prove it. Every single day, you got to say, okay, the life I'm living, can I truly say it's free? The life I'm living, can I truly say it's righteous? The life I'm living, can I truly say it's pure? You see, these are things that we must ask every single day to free ourselves. The life I'm living, can I truly say it is helping people? Can I truly say it is inspiring people? Or do I know in my heart it's part of the problem? So I love that comment, Caroline. We are the change we want to see. That's so powerful right there. That's so powerful. We are the change we want to see. I'm a healer by nature, deep divers. I'm a healer by nature. Let me shout out to everyone here. Let me shout out to the beautiful Vanessa. You are appreciated. doing the rounds right now. Vanessa Butterfly, you are appreciated. I thank you for all the knowledge you give. I woke up last year and you were a big part of my awakening. You always give me the advice I need in the time I need to hear it. Thanks, Ralph. That's beautiful. I love to do that. I truly love to do that because, you know, I'm here as a guide. You already have the answers inside of you. All I'm doing is just acting as a conduit. So I want to remind you that if you keep saying that we are free, and also if you keep living it, not just saying it, but living it, it will surely happen for you. You know, right now we have to remind ourselves that it's not, talk is cheap. It's not just about saying things now. Right now, it's about living it. Every single day, it's about embodying it. It's about realizing, look, I used to work in the Matrix deep divers 12 hours a day. And, you know, something happened to me because I said, this is not serving me. The life I'm living right now is not serving me. I was aware of what was happening in the system, but I had to do something about it. Right? A lot of people are aware, but they have cognitive dissonance. In other words, you're aware of what's happening. You're aware that drinking is bad for you, excessive alcohol, but you're still doing it because you want to feel good. So we have to learn that knowledge is not enough. You have to make sure you're really living the life of the free being. And that's the only way change can happen. And that's why everybody who was at the Freedom March, that is fantastic. But you have to realize it's going to take more than that. It's going to take more than a protest to change things. You're going to have to use your action in your own life. You're going to have to say, wait a minute, am I living this life as well? And this is where great change can happen. When you learn every single day to say, hey, I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm not even just going to protest about it. I'm going to make sure that my life, I'm practicing what I'm preaching, right? So this is what we have to, this is the next level of everything. We have to make sure we are practicing what we are preaching. We have to make sure we are living what we're talking about. Deep divers, let me just send a shout out to everyone who's here. People always say, Ralph, I love your videos. Where can I get more information? Make sure you check out the new book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/thebook for more daily inspiration. Also, make sure you get the Good Ass Prana Clothing, ralphsmart.com/clothes. Stay kitted out, deep divers. And remind yourself, right now there is a huge awakening happening. Huge. But this is only the start of it. You know, awakening is not something that just is over with. in a few days or weeks or even years. It's a lifelong process. But we have to remind ourselves, the greater war is not out there. The greater war is within yourself. And you have to do the shadow work. Everything we're seeing happening right now on the planet is nothing more than the shadow of humanity. And when the shadow begins to fade away through integration, you no longer have to hide who you are. And this is where we can free ourselves and become empowered. Oh, you like that, deep divers? Let me shout out to everyone who's here. Let me shout out to everyone who's diving deep. I want to remind you, deep divers, right now we can all turn this thing around. If you're on this live, make sure you smash the like button and share the link of this video. Once again, if you're on this live, make sure you smash the like button and share the link of this video. As above, so below, absolutely. I want to remind you, deep divers, it's a good start. It's a good thing to see the Freedom March rally. Freedom, right? It's a good thing to see the Freedom March rally. It's a good thing to see people are starting to realize it is time to stand up. It is time to reclaim your power. It is time to not be afraid. I'm protected, deep divers. You don't have to worry about me because the universe works in my favor. Remind yourself to stop being scared. You have nothing to lose except your freedom, except your children's freedoms, except your mental health, except all of those things. Other than that, there's nothing to lose. So remind yourself there's a lot more to gain in this situation by learning how to speak your truth. Once again, a lot of these celebrities out there, they can't say anything. Why? Because they did the Faustian agreement. They sold their souls to the devil for a crappy deal. At least it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. Mr. West told you. And that's why you see people with millions of people, followers, but they don't say anything because they know if they talk, it's over. The reason why I can say anything with millions of followers is because I've been doing this. You see, every single day you have a choice to make. Which side are you on? Am I on the side of righteousness? Or am I on the side of deception? You have to choose to be on the side of righteousness, which is linked to truth, which is linked to sovereignty. And this is what can change the world. Deep divers, this is just a warm-up. I just did this live stream just to test. We got a whole new setup here, right? Just to test the live stream out. But it's going good, deep divers. You know, the chat kind of stopped going, so that's why I couldn't pull it up on the screen. But you know, it's fun. It's like I say, I love doing these live streams. It's just good to talk to people in real time. And you know, I can see all of your comments right here, and I can pull up any comment here. Any comment that I'm like, okay, let me pull it up, I can pull it up. And that's the gift of learning how to also use this technology to really inspire people. You know, it's all about how we use these tools right now. You can use these technologies to say, wait a minute, I'm going to hack the system and help people wake up. So learn how to live stream. Learn how to start your own website, because if you can use the technology as a tool, you can now use it instead of it using you. And this is how we find our empowerment. I know how to live stream. I know how to make films, not just YouTube videos, films, because I'm using these tools to spread a message. So the solution to what's happening is to make sure you are using your platforms wisely. Is to make sure you realize your voice is not insignificant. In fact, it's powerful beyond measure. So remind yourself, deep divers, it's not over. This is not going to end. It's never going to end. Because we've moved into a new age. And therefore, every day, you got to be on your job. You got to be doing what you came here to do. And you will be protected. You'll be taken care of. You'll be supported. So all you have to do is just make sure you're doing what you came here to do. That's all. That is all. And you will be taken care of. Once again, I'll be back. You know, when I start doing live streaming deep divers, I just get into the live streaming wave. So, tune in again tomorrow. We do another stream. We have some more fun deep divers. I love all of you out there. Like I say, you are all appreciated. Smash the like button and share this link. Once again, smash the like button, give appreciation. And deep divers, I got a song for you. One love to everybody. Let's go. I'm so happy. The whole world is just beginning. We already won. It's about us all. So many beautiful deep divers here. It's a choice. So happy to manifest whatever you want, to be whatever you want. It's a choice. Freedom is a must. We have to become the spoon. Oh yes, deep divers, one love to everybody. Like I told you, stay tuned. Check out also the other new video up right now. People, they scream for freedom. Make sure you watch that video. And we'll be back tomorrow as always. Who knows? I might live stream again. You never know. Deep divers, stay tuned. One love to everybody. Let's go.